Good morning. We are live. It is Carissa Sorbello here from Refurb to Invest and Before You Renovate. And I'm really pumped to bring you another absolutely value packed, jam packed event for rental properties. So if you're an investor and you're wondering how you could possibly add more value, how you possibly could add more value to your rental properties in a strategic way that instantly boosts your asset value, your equity, and your rental income, then you're in the right place, because we are going to dive into that in this next 60 minutes. So we are live on Zoom. We are live on Facebook. We are also live on YouTube. If you're watching us on Facebook, you can comment below that you want the link from Zoom so you can actually jump on our Zoom, because this masterclass, you need to see the slides. It's not enough just to hear what I'm saying. You need to see this. Pardon me, I've got hiccups. You need to see the slides of this particular property, and this property is based in the northern suburbs, northern beaches of Sydney. It was a little rundown, but it was still rentable. The key factor, though, is the way we designed the strategy instantly boosted the asset value by 300K based on another agent appraisal after the work was done. Plus, the rental income went up by $280 per week, extra to what they were already getting. And in fact, it's gone up again. And I'm going to tell you guys all the stats at the end. You're going to want to see it. It is phenomenal. But right now, I'm going to then take you through every strategy I did and why. And that is crucial, because I speak to a lot of investors, a lot of landlords, and naturally it's, why do I want to spend money? I just want to get a tenant in there. I want to make money. And they miss everything else. They miss the value that they could actually have. And that is super important, to understand exactly what you can achieve on your property. Sorry, just a little IT issue there. And so that's what I'm here to talk to you guys about today. Imagine if I could open your eyes, open your mind to thinking about rental properties just a little bit differently. Maybe you have thought of it before, but you weren't really sure what to do and how to do it right. Or maybe you are completely not aware of what could actually be achieved. And that's exactly why I bring you these free trainings. I bring you an hour of my time to see what I can teach you that could help you get one step closer to a better result in your property. One step closer to a better result. What does that mean? That means making more income, having a more valuable asset. Maybe that's to the extent of getting a better tenant who's been treating your property not right, or not paying the rent, and that's just been a stress for you. Imagine if I could show you how to eliminate that. And then let's go a step further again. With the right strategy, you can get enough equity that you can then unlock that to buy another house. A lot of my clients do that. Now, I'm not a financial advisor, so I'm not giving you advice, but it is very common, and a lot of people don't realize the extent of what they can do in property. So I'm here to give you a bit of a platform of some things that you may not have thought of, and to think about what type of investor, what type of landlord are you? And there's no right or wrong, but understanding where you are, where you want to be, and then what the gap is the first step to moving forward and progressing where you are now into something bigger. Now, we are already in March, so imagine what you could do in the next 9 months, the next 10 months, to, by the end of the year, have your portfolio at a different level, have your wealth, have your asset value, have your income at a much better state than it could be right now. And that's anyone who is maybe even only owning one property, through to investors that have 5, 10, 20, 30 properties. Imagine if there was value sitting in all of those that you were completely missing out on. I call it untapped potential. And that's exactly what I want to dive into today. So if you allow me to teach you and you are open-minded and have your notebook ready as well, I'm big on that. This is not just you listen to me talk. I'm going to give you some key concepts. Have your notebook, have your pen, make notes. That's the best way you're going to really be able to dive into and grab the learnings that I want you to be able to grab out of this. So again, we are live on a few different platforms. If you're watching on our Facebook and you're like, you know what, I actually want to jump on the Zoom, comment below. I'll get the team to get the Zoom link to you so you can watch it from our Zoom platform, which means you get to see the slides that I am about to share, which you need in order to put the whole concept of everything together. So let's now get into this because I am super, super, super excited to walk you guys through this. And you know what? It's like, you know, it's kind of what I get up for because I love the results that we get. It is amazing. So let me share screen because I remember last time I forgot to click share screen. That was pretty funny. All right, let's share screen right here, right now. Can you see my screen? Christine, can you see my screen?
Yep, I think we just record yet.
Oh, yes. See, there's a reason why you come and help me. Let's get recording going. Oh, my God, it's like I forgot what to do in a very short time. Okay, we're on live. We're on record and we are in share screen mode because I want to dive into this amazing success story, one of many hundred success stories that we were able to successfully plan. And I want to start with this part. It's not just let's go renovate. You have to plan the right strategy. What are you doing? How are you doing it? What's it going to cost? How much more value is that going to cost in order to achieve the absolute best possible outcome? Now, here's the thing, right? I have people that say to me, well, can you guarantee? And here's the thing. You can't guarantee. However, you also can't guarantee that while the property's run down and the agent says, well, it could still probably get $1,000 a week. You can't guarantee that. You go on market and you're hoping that a tenant's willing to still pay that. You invest money into it, you increase the chances of someone running at that property a far load more than if you leave it run down or you leave it. I'm not going to say run down because run down to me is that it needs repairs, that it needs work. However, there's also properties that are still neat, but they just lack the appeal. They may lack some functionality. They're still good quality. They're not so much that they need repairs and they're falling apart, but they just have outdated looks. They have outdated colors, outdated tiles, outdated kitchens, still great bones. But again, if we want to get that absolute highest tenant, we want to get the most amount of money. How do we do that? And we do that by ensuring our property looks at its best while being strategic on what we spend. And that's the end game, is strategic on spend in order to get the maximum return. And through this masterclass, I'm going to take you through the value of that in far more detail. And I'm going to show you this exact transformation so you can see the stats. I don't want you just to take my word for it. I want to actually show you what has been achieved so you can see it with your eyes and apply some of those strategies into your own properties or properties that you're looking at purchasing. So just to introduce myself, my name is Chris Sorbello. I am the founder and director of Refurb to Invest and Before You Renovate. Now, Refurb to Invest has been helping property owners all over Sydney, and actually we've done a few interstate now as well, in strategically planning the right renovation, whether they are selling, re-renting it, or I have a lot of people that come back to us after they've sold their property, made money, and then said, you know what, it's actually not worth this moving. We just want to redo our existing home and become our dream home. And they come back again. Why? Because the planning we do is so strategic to save the money, get their wish list, and add instant value no matter what their outcome is. Whatever their wish list is, I still say to every client that I coach or that I plan a strategy for with my team, I still want to ensure you walk away with a more valuable asset. So what you import is important to then what that's going to output to the property, and how we do it and what techniques and what methods that we put all together in a way that saves them tens of thousands, reduces the headache of them renovating because we oversee it or we coach them to ensure they're doing it correctly. And it gets them a much better result, much better return. And let's face it, in Australia anyway, renovating has gone up in price. Trades can be really difficult to find, to be reliable, to tell them exactly what you want and actually achieve that. In fact, I remember seeing someone post about having to redo things like 3 times because what they asked for wasn't what they achieved, wasn't what they were given. So how do we close that gap? How do we ensure that we're not just throwing money at a property and not getting a return no matter what the outcome is? So for 12 years, we have successfully helped countless families, investors, mum, dads get more out of their property and further build their portfolio, further build their wealth in property and reduce that risk and that headache of having a property not performing at its best. And with that, we have Then Built Before You Renovate, which is our coaching platform. So it's a space where people that want to learn how to plan the right strategy, want to learn how to do this for something that they want to get into, whether it's to eventually leave their 9-to-5 job or whether it's to do on the side as a hustle, whether they've got 1 property or right now they've got 10, but they want to build more. They want to do a course that helps them learn the steps to be able to do it for their property. So we have those 2 amazing services. So right now, though, we're going to dive into how I unlocked $300K in asset value and an extra $280 a week in rental income and how you can do that too. Now, again, we are live on Zoom, on YouTube and on Facebook. So if you're coming to us on Facebook, you won't see the slides unless you will see my little son though, unless you jump on our Zoom. So you can comment below. My team are on standby watching. They will send you the link so you can jump on our Zoom and actually see the whole presentation. So again, there's me. Fantastic. Now, before I dive into this success story, I want to point out 2 little things. One, I'm a big believer in being in this industry for 12 years. There are 2 types of landlords, 2 types of investors. There is the passive investor and the active investor. Now, what does that mean? The passive investor is more buying, throws a tenant in there, gives it to their property manager, and that's it, forgets about it. Kind of just relies on being told when they need to do something, and they don't really actively look at where they can get more out of their property. Now, there is no problem with that as such, if that's the type of person you are. Maybe you're busy with your businesses, families, but sometimes then we neglect to go back and check the status of everything. And that could mean that in that timeline, you're then missing out on rental income. You're missing out on asset growth. You could be actually missing out on building your portfolio because you haven't stopped to have a look. And it's very, very common that a lot of people just fall into that passive kind of area. They're collecting rent. Their property is accumulating asset growth. Amazing. But there's a big chunk that they're missing because they're not actively checking, once a year where their property is at. And on the other side of that, there's the active investor. Now, the active investor is the one that every year, every 6 months is doing a proper checking. Where am I at? Where's my property at? What's the condition? Now, yes, your property manager should be giving you all that information. But the problem is we get so busy with our day-to-day lives, right? And until the property manager rings and says, hey, your bathroom's leaking, then you go, oh, what should we do? Okay, let's have a chat about it. Just quickly fix this and we'll just fix that. And I don't really have time because I don't want to lose income, or I don't want to lose this, or I don't really have the finances for it right now. And then you just fall into fixing stuff. Whereas when you're a bit more on top of your property, and this might be for some of you just a reminder to be like, you know what? I've got 2 properties. Actually, I haven't checked in the last 6 months, really like a proper check of their status. I've had a quick scheme through the routine inspection and it seems fine, so done, I've just left it. Whereas I want you to look at, when was the last time you did a proper health check? A proper Let's have a look. What's the rent at? Where's the market at the moment? How long's my tenant been in there? And the thing is, I get landlords that say, oh, I've had a tenant for 10 years, and they're so excited. That's a red flag to me. Yes, that's amazing that you've had a tenant for 10 years, and that means you've had constant income, but then there's a high chance that it is way under market value. So how many more years do you want to go with not getting the income that you actually could be getting? So here's what we start to look at. As an active investor, it's about understanding where's your property at? What could you actually be making on it? What's it worth right now? And there's a bit of a criteria. Now, we do this in our audits. And again, we teach this in our renovation course. It's a way to break down like a SWOT analysis on your property. Why is that important? Because as the investor, as the landlord, it's your property. You have sole responsibility to ensure you're doing the best for your property to get the most out of it for your wealth. So yes, you can have an amazing accountant and a great quantity surveyor and a great property manager, but they only will know so much. And then you need to stop and look at what is it that I need to know, and then go to the right professionals to get the right advice, including us, to then see, well, let's look at that audit and what is the best that we can actually check. Fine, but quiet. Sorry for that interruption. So it's then about, if you know the status of your property, then you have time to plan, okay, I need to do an uplift, or there's potential in there that I want to unlock. I want to do it in a year's time. So what finance do I need to look at? What are the numbers going to be? It gives you time to plan it properly, because the second part I want to lead into is there is one thing to spend money and there's another thing to invest money. And I'm going to show you what that means. Spend money is when you get the phone call, hey, this broke, can you fix it? Hey, this needs to be replaced. Hey, we're leaking bathroom. Okay, let's just go do a mega seal on it. Yes, cheap option, but again, it just fixes the problem temporarily. You're outlaying. Hey, this is a bit rotten, can you fix it? The cooktop just stopped working, can you replace it? The dishwasher's not working, can you do this? There's some problem with the plumbing. There's a problem here. The aircon's not working properly. Usually all those things come up when your property is getting old, when it's time for a proper overhaul. So in the meantime, you're spending and spending and spending and spending. Now, to some people, it's like, yeah, great, but that's just maintenance, fantastic. But the problem is you're not getting any direct increase in income with that. You're not getting any direct increase in asset value with the few grand here, a couple hundred there, another 500 there. And it's all done on the spot. So you're going for the quickest option without taking the time to think about what's your best solution. You think maybe small things goes, but I'm not spending a lot of money in the short term. But in the long term, what have you just put into your property without any direct ROI? So what if we could change that? What if I could show you how the right strategy and the right implementation could not only save you that constant spend over the years that's just not needed, but it could also give you massive tax benefits. It could give you increase in rental, which actually covers the cost of the work. And it increases instantly your asset value if you do it correctly. Now, this is the bit that a lot of landlords miss. They forget about their asset value, but I'm not selling my house. Okay, you're not right now, but what if I could show you then how to use the equity to buy another property? What if 12 months later, your situation changes and now you need to sell? Instead of rushing to try to do it then, it's already done. And what if you then could get more tax benefits out of it because you get a better tenant, you get more income, you've actually then got more things to depreciate. So many benefits, and that's exactly what I'm going to show you. Again, we are live on Zoom, on YouTube, and on Facebook. If you are watching and you want to see our slides, because we are about to dive into our case study. So I'm about to reveal now how on this particular property in Frenchs Forest, is at Northern Beaches of Sydney, we added a $300K in asset value and $280 a week extra rental. If you're coming live to us on Facebook and you're coming on the replay firstly, I want you to comment replay, and I want you to comment that you want the full replay because the slides are only in our Zoom. So you need to be in our Zoom in order to see the slides. So are you ready? Now, as you watch this, if you have questions, throw them at me and I will answer questions at the end. Are you ready to dive into this? Have you got your pen and paper? And are you ready to see exactly what I did? I'll tell you the funniest thing when I do presentations like this. For years, and I show the before photos, how many people message me and they say, oh my God, that's what my bathroom looks like. Now you just gave me an idea of what I could do. That's what I want you to start thinking about. I don't want you to get carried away though on the renovation because we're not here to renovate. I want you to get thinking about how can I get more value out of my current properties that's going to work for me and for my goals and for my portfolio and help me get more out of it. That's what I want you to think about the whole time we go through this. So I'm going to take you through this part now. This is our floor plan, but what I want to do, I'm going to actually do one a little bit different for you for 1 second. And I'm going to show you this instead real quick because I'm going to draw on this. So here's what I want to show you. This is the floor plan after we did the work, right? But I'm going to show you what the floor plan was before so you can get a really good feel as we go through each step. So firstly, the floor plan before, the kitchen was like this. That was our kitchen. The ensuite was like this. The rest was the same. And the bathroom was like this. And the laundry was just a nice little tub, stock standard, usual thing. And we had no wardrobe here. And that was pretty much it. So that was before. Now, as we go through, you're going to see the photos, but I want to point out, I only did some minor changes, but why it had such an impact is because it made it super appealing, more functional, and the overall transformation made it very attractive, and it grabbed a good tenant and a whole lot higher in rental because overall everything was updated to another level. But while you're updating, think about how you can improve the functionality at the same time. And here's the problem that a lot of people do is they throw money at, okay, my bathroom is leaking, my kitchen's falling apart. They throw money at it, but they miss, while they're already throwing money at it anyway, can they improve it? Can they do it just a little bit better that's going to allow them to then get more rent from it, more asset value? They're already spending the money anyway. Can it be more functional? And that's exactly what we did to this one. It was, we had to pull out some things. There was some leaking. There was a leaking bathroom. The kitchen was super run down. I'm pretty sure the kitchen, we see the photos, was actually like pink. But the layout of it was not super functional. So how can we improve it? Because we're already there, right? If you're coming on to us live on Facebook, we are live on Zoom. You only see the slides if you're live on Zoom. So you can comment below and my team will shoot you the link so you can be on our Zoom live right now, or you can comment replay and we can also get the replay to you at the end. So let's now dive into me. I want to show you the next thing. So here we go. The first strategy we looked at was the kitchen. Now, the kitchen, let me give you this little pointer. Most people panic about, oh, but the kitchen's going to cost me so much money. So here's two things that I want to reframe for you. Yes, in theory, the kitchen is one of the most expensive rooms of the house. However, when you invest into it correctly, one, there's ways to save a whole lot of money with the right finishes. Two, it can instantly boost your asset value because it is one of the most common used rooms. So if you have a tenant coming into a property, and even same with a buyer, this goes for buyers as well. you have a buyer come into the property and they can see that the kitchen's run down. They're either thinking they've got to spend money on the kitchen, or they're a tenant going, I don't really want to use this kitchen, it's so old. And they'll walk out and go into the next property. So you're thinking, well, I'm going to save money, I'm just not going to do it. A tenant is going to trash it anyway. Well, yeah, if you're looking for a tenant who just cares about having cheap rent, of course they're going to trash it. But you want a tenant who's actually a good quality business owner, high income earner, that is just happening to rent in that time, in that area, then you want to attract them. How do you attract them? By having an appealing property, a functional property, starting with the kitchen. So the before kitchen, it was pink. See, told you. It was like a really pale pink. Now we're talking, this property was already like 1.5 mil, 2 mil property worth that before it even started, right? Now this property, and I purposely showed you this one because this was a couple years ago, but it has already gone up more. And that's why I wanted to particularly mention this one, because the increase in value is already greater again because they did this work. So it went up when they did the work, and now it's gone up even more than before. And that's why I wanted to point this one out. So here's our current kitchen. Now you can see that kind of return in the breakfast bar. One, there was no breakfast bar. So it steps up. It's quite ugly. It's not functional. And that curve made it super small to be able to actually use that kitchen properly. And in fact, there was not a pantry. There was no dishwasher. And the fridge spot was quite small. Now we're talking a four bed home, 2 bathroom. The size of the kitchen is important to the functionality of the house, to the value of the home. Now this had 2 living spaces. So this was a separate living space, but it just didn't, look, here's the pros and cons, right? Kitchen was just very outdated, not very functional. But I tell you the pro, look at that balcony. That balcony, you went straight out those doors, a stunning balcony, could entertain there. It's right near the kitchen already. You literally had beautiful outlook. It was a stunning area. It just lacked the kitchen area. And that kitchen was laminate top, doesn't match the criteria of that value home. Now, here's another point you need to remember. The work you do and the finishes you do to any property must work with the value of that home. So you got a $200, $300 house, you're not going to go put massive marble stone and crazy finishes in. It's not going to add, that's just silly. That's a waste of money. However, you have a $2 million home, you're not going to go put laminate tops in and laminate cabinetry. And in fact, a client said to me recently, I was just thinking of throwing like a 10K kitchen in my unit that's like laminate top just to get by for the rental. Do you know what my answer was? What a waste of money. Because this particular unit was on the water that would have had, if she did it correctly, would have achieved crazy rental income and asset value. And then when she wanted to sell it, it was ready to go. So throwing a quick laminate kitchen and then not doing anything else was not actually going to add her any value. So she's outlaying 10 grand for no reason. Plus, when she got the quote, it was already hitting 15. And I had quotes for a better layout, better finishes, and literally like a wow appealing kitchen for only about 2 grand more. So again, it's not about what you think is cheaper. It's about doing the right strategy, knowing how to negotiate, knowing what the right things are, the right finishes to bring it together so you can save money in one area and make it look wow in another area, and then bring it all together so you save money, but you get that finish that's going to get you the result that you need. That's what we're there to do. So here's what we did. We squared the kitchen up, right? We actually brought it out. So if you can see before where it was that curve, we eliminated that curve, but we made it all a little bit wider. There was still so much space to still have a dining area and a lounge, and there's a separate lounge in the other room, so that this kitchen would be more functional, a whole lot more appealing, and make it work. It had a wall oven, so we put the oven under the cooktop. We got rid of, as you can see, that tall breakfast area. Well, I wouldn't even say breakfast area because it didn't overhang enough for you to sit there, but that tall bench. So it allowed you to have a nice big, look at that breakfast bar now. Stunning. Stone. Again, standard stone, but now it's got stone tops. It was super simple. It's a rental. We didn't have to go fancy. We kept it super simple. But I tell you what we did. We put a poly kitchen. We put finger pull, so there's no handles. We put a dishwasher in. We put new appliances. We put a beautiful, you can't quite see here, but it's a nice herringbone style splashback, just to make the splashback pop. Again, super simple. They're big tiles, so they're actually super cheap to lay, and they're not very expensive, but they don't look boring. They add a bit of a pop, and then we save money in other areas. We did a bulkhead because before there was a bulkhead, but it was with the cornice. I don't like that. And see the step in the cabinetry, that was just pointless. Nice seamless finish, straight lines. Finish it nicely, nice big fridge spot, and a big pantry. It was missing a pantry. How do you have a 4-bedroom home? Tenants come in, no dishwasher, no pantry. No, thank you. Instead of you losing potential tenants, I want you to have more tenants running in that are fighting over it. That's what I usually get. I usually get property managers come back to me and say, we had like 10 offers and we had to dissect which one was the best. But what is the benefit when you have multiple tenants coming in and applying? The benefit is you then can dissect who's the best tenant. And I'll give you a prime example. I had a property manager on one of my properties actually say to me, the value not only of the extra income and the extra asset value to our client that you were able to achieve for them was not only that, it was also that we had multiple applicants. So we then could select who we wanted. Now, all the applicants were high-end, amazing tenants, great potential, high income earners, fantastic. However, there was a difference of a family of 1 to a family of 3. Well, 3 kids to 1 child means more maintenance, more wear and tear on the property. So we had an option to select then who was a better fit for our property. Isn't that amazing? Then having to just grab whoever, let's just hope we get a tenant, apply and then take them. Or no, we'll just run the open home for another few weeks until we get someone. Well, imagine eliminating that because you've got a better looking property, a better functioning property, a better appealing property. People do things on emotion. So here's 2 points I want to throw at you. As an investor, you can't transform your home with emotion. You've got to be emotionless. But you want to attract your tenant with emotion. You want them coming like, oh my God, this is actually a beautiful home. Look at this. I really want this property. And then apply. So straight away, you have a tenant running at your property over, well, let's go look at another 5 and see which one we like. Because a good tenant is also sought after. I know in the years that I've rented, even when I've owned my property, that I've had PMs when I've said, listen, I need to move home. I need to get a bigger home, or we were moving our office around. We had our office in our home when we're having kids. And I had PMs say, our PM, more than once I've had this, say, can we find you something else? We don't want to lose you as a tenant. Because I was a landlord myself. I had property. I do property for a living, and I was renting. I treat the property, and I was in some brand new homes, or brand new renovated homes, that I wanted to pay extra in order to have the water view, to have the beautiful property. And the tenant, the property managers were like, how do we keep you? And sometimes I was like, okay, find me something that hits this criteria. Other times I was like, I'm moving out of the area, because I used it as a way to move and go around different parts of Sydney. And for me, that was great because I got to try different areas. So kitchen, biggest thing and best value add. But it ties in with other areas like the bathroom. You need to also add the bathroom. Why? Because if you just do one area, not the other, you're not getting that overall transformation. You're not getting that overall appeal. So one looks old, one looks new, one looks great, one looks crap. We need to overall get a wow. But again, how are we going to do it strategically? With what method? With what finishes? With what materials? What is it, a facelift or a full reno? What exactly we're doing? And again, this is exactly what we dive into in our Renovation Wealth Mastery program. And in fact, if we're doing a strategy for a client, this is what we do for them. This client was actually living overseas at the time. So they rang me and said, well, they rang me on WhatsApp and said, look, we need your help. We were referred to you. We're in London. We don't know what our property needs and we don't know what we should do. Can you provide the right strategy? We planned the strategy. They got the rewards. They didn't have to do anything. So again, depending on whether you want to be hands-on and learn, or you want to have someone take care of it for you. But the value is, this is really great, valuable content to ensure you're getting the most out of your property. right? That's what I'm here to do. So bathroom, firstly, is one, we want to make sure it's not leaking. Two, we want to make sure it is functional and appealing. But here's the mistake people make is they just gut it and they put everything back in. Look at this property. Look at this. It was quite a long bathroom, a little small skinny bathtub, and then the shower in the corner. Small shower, small bathtub. It's a bit of a dance floor. I call it dance floor when there's more space in the bathroom than what you actually need. You don't need to have a dance in the bathroom, but then it's more vanity. So how could we improve that? Now, I said to the owner, one, I'm sure this one was actually leaking because that was the reason why we gutted it. There is ways to facelift it. But I said to them also, look, we really need to ensure that you've got a better layout because this isn't working. So what did we do? We completely changed the function of it. Now, this walk-in shower bath area, one, meant we could have a much larger area. Again, much more appealing. Now, this was a couple of years ago, as I mentioned. So then it was very much greys and whites. I do things a little bit different now. I do different kind of tile looks now. But again, what is it that can add the most amount of value for you? How can it be most appealing? So we looked at, all right, if we do the bath in that corner and then the walk-in shower, make all of that flow and fall in a certain way that it's just one big kind of wet area. It now looks amazing because it's got a big round bath and it's a much larger shower. And it's just a walk-in. So now it's beautiful than being a tiny corner one. Then we were able to get a bigger vanity, more storage, and have everything finished. So it was all re-waterproofed, all redone, retiled, tile to ceiling, less chance of moisture buildup because originally it wasn't tiled to ceiling, and much, much better result. And in fact, it was then about, and I don't have the other photos on here, but it was also then, okay, let's look at the ensuite. Now, the ensuite was leaking. And again, it was not a style that we could redo. We couldn't really change the format. And it didn't need to be. So not every bathroom you need to change layouts, but if there's a value to do that, consider it. What's it going to cost to do and how much more value can that add because it's more functional? So the ensuite, we didn't have to redo the layout, but we did square off the shower. It was a corner shower, so it was quite small. We did square that off and we did just redo it. So it's the same look as this one, but it's functional and amazing. Now, here's a couple other things to think about. Internals and externals. Now, I usually would break this down into two different strategies. So strategy 3, strategy 4. But those little things like the flooring, the painting, those things that changing can completely uplift the property once you've now done the kitchen and the bathroom. And in this one in particular, this had a beautiful, massive deck. Look at that deck. Isn't that stunning? Problem was it was just run down. The house itself was yellow and green. So how can we eliminate that? So we're getting a wow factor when people come in to see that it's not just got a new kitchen and new bathrooms, but now it's got beautiful colors and it's vibrant and it ticks every box. We don't want them to pick at anything. There was AC already done. We fixed up the flooring. There was actually tiles throughout on the internals. So here we fixed up the deck, made it beautiful. See the difference just in the white railing? Like, look at that. Look how dark and just not inviting that looks to this. Look how beautiful this looks. We got rid of all the yellow, opened it up, made it fresh, alive. Simple things, but wow, did it make a difference. And then we go internally. Now, character houses like this, I love. The cladding, the decking, the internals. The two-tone did really cut off the space, the carpet. So again, how do we improve it? Very simple. New blinds, eliminating the two-tone colors. The two-tone colors does draw it in because that dark color is just outdated. Whereas one color opens a space. We put nice blinds. Did you know when you do darker blinds, they get less dirty. So instead of going white blinds, we went darker charcoal blinds. Then the fireplace, simple as painting it, getting rid of that dark timber. And the floorboards. Now, this property in terms of flooring had floorboards, tiles, and carpet. Eliminated that, put floorboards throughout and left put laminate throughout where there wasn't. What? No, and don't ask me again, please. Floorboards stayed. Added laminate, got rid of the carpet, and got rid of the tiles. We went over the tiles. So it was a property that when you entered had one floor, all these different floors, different levels. eliminated it, got it to one level, made it more appealing because you walked in, everything was just nice and open. Open plan is what people want. So how do you achieve that? Again, what value was it going to add? We already did our due diligence from day one. It wasn't about, oh, how much do we want to spend? It wasn't about what's everything going to cost. It was about how much more value can we add? And then let's backtrack. And what do we need to then invest in order to get the right results? So then look at the exterior. Now, a couple things. This is why an audit is so crucial, because there is also so many things we can't control. We couldn't control that the front of this home was a cul-de-sac, and it was like a walkway. So it was a really odd kind of layout. It doesn't actually have a driveway to the front of the house, and the garage is then from the back. So you've got to drive around to the back for the garage. And if you're entering it from the front, you literally are like this little cul-de-sac, and then you've got to walk down this walkway. So again, some properties, there's things you can't control, but what you can control is what you then update. So then you can get the maximum return from it. So this property here, look, it's yellow, it's green, the bushes were overgrown, but the little things that we did completely transformed it to that. Look at that. All that was missing was some plants in those two front pots, and some of the grass had, got a little bit died over that time. But look how different, just the colors of the outside, the lights, the grays, the whites. Again, we are live on Zoom, on YouTube, and on Facebook. If you're coming to us live on Facebook and you want to jump on our Zoom so you can actually see the photos of what I'm showing you, you can comment below. My team will send you the link. You can also comment replay, and we will shoot the replay across to you so you don't miss out on this amazing strategy that I'm unlocking right now. So it was then, let's go through numbers, right? So the property value went up by 18.75%. 18.75%. Now, this was a couple of years ago, so it will be way over that by now too. So they unlocked 300K in asset value. But this is what I want to show you. They invested 139,000, right? Now, here's where I want to point out two things. Some people will be like, oh my God, that's a lot of money. It is, it's a lot of money. For the amount of work that they did, I saved them 31K. So no, for the amount of money, it wasn't a lot of work. Sorry, for the amount of work, it wasn't a lot of money. But here's what I want to point out. The reason why they did that is so they did it once and now they forget about it. And in fact, this was a couple of years ago. When I take you through the rental increases, it's gone up again since then, and now they're going to sell it next year. So all they'll need to do is give notice to the tenant. Tenant moves out. They do a quick cleanup, maybe a couple of different bit of touch-ups to the paint. Everything else should be perfect because it was done with quality stuff only done a couple of years ago, and they can then sell it and make the profit on it as well. So they invested 139, but the asset went up by 300. So they increased their equity. Now their equity is money on their property that they have access to, 161,000. Now, again, depending on what their serviceability is, what their jobs are like, what their financial situation is, they could actually unlock that. And I'm not too sure if they did. I might have to actually ask her. They could unlock that and buy something else. Now, that's what I've done. That's what a lot of my clients do. Again, I'm not a financial planner, so I'm not giving you advice, but it means that your value of your asset is worth more. So you actually have more money there. It's the same as you selling and making the cash profit, but instead you're using the money on your property and redrawing it to then use it for something else. That is why you add value to your home, not just for the income. But in fact, the income went up by 30.4%. Now, it was 900. I don't have the actual stats on there directly, but it was around 960 and went up to, 920, 920. It went up $280 a week to $1,200. Now, this was 2 years ago. Guess what it's on now? $1,600. It almost doubled. So it went from 920 to, actually, I'm going to do this for you guys because this way I can actually straight up, and I'll add this onto the thing so you guys can see. So it started at 920 was the first point. After the work, it went up to 1,200. 2 years later, it's now at 1,600. Why? Because your market increases over time too, doesn't it? So when you've got a better performing property, you've got a better quality property, when the market's at its peak, you can then put the rent up higher. But if you've got a low end property, how do you put the rent up higher? The tenant's just going to decide to move out, and you've got to do the work anyway. So look at the difference from 920 to 1600. What a difference. What's that? 680. $680 it went up. Whew. Plus the asset. So the asset went up 300K then 2 years ago. It'd be worth more than that now. I'd have to actually check what the amount will be now, and I'll be keen to see what they sell for next year, because that will be an awesome flip case study. But you can see there the rent went up by $14,000 a year, right? But this is the thing. That extra increase covers the 139. Because if you top it up, and this is what a lot of my clients do, you don't go and find 100 grand out of your savings. You redraw it from the property you already have. So when you redraw it, what do you need to do? You need to cover to repay it. So if you repay it with the extra income, it's not costing you anything. You actually end up getting it zero out of your pocket, and you actually cash flow positive. Because if you do the right strategy, you end up with more income than what your actual repayment is. So you walk away with more money back in your pocket. And again, this is all done if you do it the right way. You need to do the right strategy. You need to understand the right strategy, and every property is different. This works for here. The next property may not have an uplift for that much. So we need to be different again with our strategy. But it's all about understanding property, understanding what your results could be, understanding how to do an audit, how to do your SWOT analysis, then understanding how to plan the right strategy, understanding how to be able to document your information, document your scope, do your plans, work out the right concepts, work out the right materials to be able to then take it to at the tender process. I call it tender process because you want to be negotiating the best costing, whether you are doing some yourself or you are completely outsourcing it all, whether it's trades, whether it's a builder. You need to make sure you're getting the right people with the right licensing, with the right warranties, doing the right works in order to get the right result that you can then do long term and get results like this. It was done in 6 weeks. 6 weeks later, they had that much more sitting in their bank. Real people, real properties, real results. That's all I ever show you guys, is real success stories time and time again of properties that we have worked with our clients, whether we're coaching them on it, whether it's one that we've done the strategy for them. It's about getting the results. And in fact, I spoke to a new client the other day, and she said, I'm not too sure if I'm going to sell it or re-rent it, but I want to get the maximum value out of it. I only want to renovate if I get more value. And I said, fantastic, because I'm only here to get you more value. I'm not here to renovate. I'm not here to upsell you in more renovations, because that does the opposite to me getting you more income. I want to get you more income. I want to get you more equity. I want to get you more profit. I want to get you more wealth. I want to help you unlock it and build more. Imagine if in 12 months' time, you completely transformed your portfolio, your wealth, through the right strategic transformation to your property. What's next? We are in March. If you already haven't got your hands on our Property Success Planner, that is your first step. Get your Property Success Planner and think about, transform yourself from the passive investor who kind of just cruises and doesn't really look at their property lately, and become the active investor who wants to ensure their property is always performing at its best. So that means you need to sit down for 10 minutes and check, what's my property up to right now? What's it getting? How much is it worth? Could it be getting more? Do that research. Ask the right questions. Need help? Get us to help you. Ensure that all your properties, you know the status. It's a snapshot of all your properties, where they're at, and where do you want to be? Do you want to unlock equity from them and buy another property this year? Do you want to buy your first investment this year? Do you want to flip a property this year? What is it that you want to do? Or is it that you even like, I spoke to someone the other day who said, I'd love to leave my 9 to 5. Okay, well then what if I could show you how to do that through property? What is it that you want to achieve? And that's why our Property Success Planner is key. Start with that. It's absolutely free. And if you're coming live with us on Facebook, We are live on Zoom. We have our slides, and I've just revealed how I uploaded 300K uploaded, unlocked 300K to a property, an extra 280 in rental income. If you want the replay, comment replay, and I'll make sure my team add you to the replay. Property success plan is the first thing. Message our team, get your property success planner today. Stop waiting. Stop being a passive investor who kind of just hangs around. Now, passive investor can also mean that you just have people do it all for you, which is great. You don't need to be hands-on. Doesn't have to mean, I'm not referring to being active as in you being hands-on doing a reno. You don't need to do that. But it means you being active and proactive to not wait to be told when your property is run down and you're losing money, that you should be active to check. Am I losing money or am I making the right money? Where's a snapshot? You should always know the health of your property at any one point. And in saying that, if you're thinking, well, I need to check, maybe I really do need to check, we can help you. Our audits are usually worth $297. You can do these from anywhere. Literally, we walk you through a template of what you need to send us, and then we prepare an audit, which is basically a SWOT analysis. We determine what are your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and your threats in your property, so we can actually advise, is there potential there and is there not? And maybe it's that, look, there'll be potential in a couple of years, or maybe there's, you're crazy that you don't unlock this right now. But it gives you an understanding, because you're not there to renovate for the fun of it. But I also don't want you to think, no, I don't want to spend money renovating, and there's money you're missing out on. So it's understanding your property first. That's for an audit. So if you're watching this today, you're watching the replay, and you message our team and say, we watched the replay, we want the $97 audit. We'll give you a $97 audit valued at $297. So we can give you a report to tell you where you're at. You want a snapshot of your property at any one point in time and know where it's at. Here's my other bonus for today. 2 free coaching sessions. Why am I giving you this? Because if you've been watching this, and again, if you're live on our Facebook, we've just finished. We're about to wrap up our free masterclass that we've just done for the last hour. If you want the replay, comment replay before I end the live, because I will not be posting this live. You have to get the replay from us. That way you can see the slides. If you're watching this, if you're an investor watching this and you're like, you know what? I really need to know more. I need to learn more, or I need help in understanding how I can get more out of my rental properties. That's what I'm here to do. I'm not here to renovate. I'm not there to renovate. It's not what I do. I'm there to show you how can you get more out of it so it can further build your wealth. And it may be little things that you're unaware of. That's why I created the Renovation Wealth Mastery Program. That's why I created planning strategic blueprints for our clients, so we can help them get from A to B faster and with more money in their pocket. So I'm giving away 2 free coaching sessions. You must mention this masterclass in order to get them. And it allows you to have 2 sessions with me, half-hour sessions directly with me on Zoom, where we can dive into where your goals are. So if you're not even sure, well, let's dive into it together and I'll take you through it. If you want to then know more about our programs, we have our kitchen workshop program that we're about to drop. It's getting finished as we speak. And we have a Renovation Wealth Mastery Program. This is 16 steps to adding value to home, unlocking equity, unlocking profit, and building success in property from start to finish. 12 amazing modules. You can also get the program on its own, or you can get it with me and I coach you through it. Again, jump on the 2 coaching sessions and I'll take you through what they actually are and the value, the absolutely crazy value that you get from them. Guys, I'm Chris Sorbello. The next masterclass that you do not want to miss is 5 massive mistakes landlords make. So I'm going to dive into what I see people do all the time that cost them money. I'm going to dive into that on our next masterclass in 2 weeks. We will post the actual date in the coming 24 hours. Check, jump on, secure your spot, and be on there. Live is different because you get to ask me questions. And if you're live on Facebook and you're not live on Zoom, you're missing the slides. You're missing the visuals that add to what I'm trying to teach you at the same time. And if you're on our live and if you're on our replay, watching this in replay, I thank you for taking time to invest in yourself. I give these sessions out of my time in order to help you get a step closer to something that could transform your 12 months, your 5 years, your life. Now, I don't say it lightheartedly when I say transforming properties, transforming lives, because it does. My last client who made great money on his property when he flipped it took his kids to Disneyland. This client in particular that I just showed you moved back from London, love where they are, have had an amazing tenant, have no issues, have been reaping the rewards of the extra income. Now when they're ready to sell it next year, they'll make some substantial profit. Fantastic. What does profit to you mean to you? What does extra income, extra equity, extra profit mean to you in the long run? That's the key part. Some people are like, oh, I'm good, I don't need it right now. But what about in the long run? What about in the 5-year time frame, or for your kids? What could that mean? What could that mean if you could unlock equity in your property and get other properties that could enable you to actually just pass on a property to your children? What could that mean to your family? What could that mean to you in accomplishing what you actually want this year, or I'm saying this lifetime? Guys, I'm Chris Sorbello. I thank you for joining me. It has been an awesome masterclass yet again. And I want to say, can we have a quick look if there's any live questions at the moment? I want to say directly, it takes time out of your Saturday morning to jump on with me and to take time to learn something, to think outside the box, to maybe question what you already thought you knew and learn something else that could take you a step further in your property journey. So I'm happy that I'm able to bring that to you. Again, we have just wrapped up our masterclass. If you're watching live on Facebook, we were just live on Zoom. So comment replay real quickly and my team will actually note, because this is not going to be saved on Facebook. It's only saved on our platform. So you need to message our team in order to get access to this masterclass. But I've just revealed how I added $300K to this property and $280 a week in rental income, and exactly what strategies I used. Now, in 2 weeks' time, we're going to go live again for 5 massive mistakes that landlords make with their rental properties. I can't wait to see you guys then, and I can't wait to learn what you got from this. So please, if you're watching this, I want you to email our team right on our Facebook page. What are 3 takeouts you got from this? Because I say it all the time, it's one thing to listen to me, but it's another thing to make notes, and then it's another thing to go out and say it out loud. So I want you to go and say out loud, what did you get from this? And what are 3 things you're going to implement on your property? Guys, thank you so much, and I'll see you again soon.
That was great.
Yeah, but I don't get
You
why
have a
we're
lot
not
of
getting anyone on. That worries me. Like, is there a hiccup somewhere and we don't know about it? Because why do we get people registered and then people don't rock up?
or maybe because of the time. Is it too early?
I don't know. Yeah, but that's the thing. On a Saturday, if it's any later, it cuts into their Saturday. I was actually thinking we should do a hold on, I'm going to see if I can do oh, I can save that live just so I can at least get some footage of it that only I can see it. So then
I think you can also. This is just a suggestion though, since they're just going to listen to you on that live. They're not gonna see the slide, so I think it's okay for it to be saved, and then we'll just have to add caption like comment replay to get the slides.
no, because then they're going to watch the content without me knowing who they are. But if I can save it, like I just realized I can save it that only I can view it, but it allows me to see the comments. So we had 121 views. Like we had 121 people watching it in and out because I could see people coming on. 3 came on, went off, come on, went off. I don't know. So that's what I don't get. I don't know how it shows 121 views, yet it only notifies me like that 3 people came on.
That's the only views I can see on my end as well.
Yeah, it's weird. Oh, hold on a second. I was just reading Jason's comment too. Because I thought, oh, I'm going to miss his session. Yeah, you probably find too. It was probably anyone that was in Queensland. There's a massive cyclone hitting Queensland at the moment, which is where Jason is. So he just made a comment about that too. In the middle of epic cyclone here on the Gold Coast, and the whole city is essentially in lockdown. We're in a tall building called Q1, and the building windows have been shaking all night. Fuck. It's been a long night. So we're moving today's session. Okay. Yeah, so for example, because I've got to run in a second. I've got I saved the video to mine because if I save it to me, then I can see who's like Kishore commented, Kishore liked it. So at least I can see who's actually watching and who comments. Because remember last time I had like 4 people comment and come on, but then I couldn't see who they were. I wish I could see who the views were. I'd be mad. 14 shares. Is that you? Did you share that to people?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, cool. So that was you. Warwick. Okay, so Warwick must have watched it by there. So yeah, I might still like that for now. I'll just do it that I keep the recording on my page so only I can see it. Jump on my page for a second. Tell me if you can see it.
On the comments?
Yeah.
I can't see comments on my end.
Facebook.
I tried going on earlier when you were still doing live to check if there's anyone commenting, but I can't see it on my end.
Warwick said no Zoom link, but he mustn't have registered. I told him to register.
Okay, that. Yeah, he asked me to register him.
Did you register him?
Yep.
I don't know why he didn't come on then.
Yeah, I can't see here on my end.
You know what I think? I think we do a poll tomorrow. What
the best time for them to
what day and times work best for a masterclass or our masterclass? Because I want to try to work out how we're going to hit the right time. Because the thing is, where I don't want too late here, but then it's too early in other states. So it's fucking annoying to work out. Oh, and 1 second. Adoni, the next time you interrupt me in my live, I'm going to ban you from the iPad for the whole day. Understand? You did it to me twice. Asking me stupid stuff that I already told you weren't allowed to have. Understand me? Yeah, so go on my Facebook. Can you see it? Sorry,
the only thing
on your Facebook, don't go in my Facebook, go on yours and then look at my Facebook and see if you can see the live, if it's showing it to you on my timeline.
Yes, it's still showing. I think because it's still on public, you can change.
Yeah, but I made it to only go to me.
Yeah, I think it will just stay on your, if that's the option, I think it will just stay on your feed. Like it won't go on anyone's feed. But the settings for the viewing is still on public. So I think you have to change that.
But that's weird because I posted when I went before I clicked post, I said only me to view it.
I still can see it on from my end, from my Facebook account.
Can you share screen with me and show me? I want to see so I can work out how to fix this. Let me
Hold on,
preview
let
it.
me just log into Facebook first because I'm on my phone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's still showing. Can you please
Yeah, sorry.
allow me to share screen?
Boys, we've got to go
See
into
this one?
now. iPad's off. Get changed. Get changed. We're getting the stuff we need to get first. When we get that, if we have time, we'll get yours. Otherwise, yours is going to wait now. Understand?
Mom, you get changed.
This one.
Why do you have to do that?
It's still on public.
Is it?
Can you watch the whole thing?
Yeah. You can change this to only me.
Okay. That's what I thought was weird because that's what I clicked when I did the post. Well, and I saved it so I could see who's on, but I also was just thinking I want to take a screenshot. Can you take a couple like a screenshot or how do we get like a little bit of it that we can? That's why I did it because I wanted to get a little bit that we can use for marketing.
Yeah,
to
it's
say
okay if you're going to change the privacy for this one to only you, it will still stay on your account, but no one can see it unless only you.
Is that edit privacy? Oh, download. Does it let me download it?
Yes, you can download it, but you can also click on edit privacy and then click only me.
Okay. So, well, another 20 people have clicked on it. So what I'd love to do is
Did you click only me already?
yeah.
Hold on, let me double check. Yeah, it's not visible anymore. But it's still visible on your account.
Okay. Yes. No, you have to wear closing shoes at that place.
Why?
Because that's their rules.
What?
Don't ask me questions right now. Just get changed into proper clothes.
Yeah,
You wore that to bed. You're not wearing that. I'm not stupid.
Can I wear this?
Yes, that's fine.
Depends.
Yes. It's a bit cold today. Put singlets on as well.
I put my singlet on.
And then come over here and say hi to Christine. Christine, that works with me. Didn't you wave to her last time when she had her little baby on her lap?
Yes. I saw her.
Well, we can't see her because the camera's off. She's not showing us herself today. If you knock on my plants over, man.
No, you always. My big sound.
You're not allowed to listen. I don't have energy today to answer 10 things. You're making me angry for no reason. You have to wear closing shoes, otherwise I won't let you in.
Mom, don't not wearing any socks.
He better be wearing socks, or he's not getting anything that he wants.
My shoes got whipped.
So, sorry, just to wrap up. There was 2 slides I wanted to add, actually. Maybe I'll try and do that. I wanted to try to get a glimpse of it. I don't know is there a way we can do that? Let me see if the download worked. I just want to get
if we can download it and then like cut, like duplicate it and then
oh my
edit
God,
the other one.
it worked. That means I can post these all to Instagram. All my lives.
Yeah.
I thought I did it last time and I couldn't get it to work. It worked.
And then we can create, like, duplicate that one on our iPads. We can duplicate that one, right? So the other one that we duplicated, we can edit that, like cut it into like a teaser.
Yeah. So hold on. I just want to quickly show you something. Because then we can go back to all my lives, and every time I do a live, I can just save it and send it to Instagram. As otherwise, Instagram's not getting all the stuff. Sorry, what was I doing here? So here, but I also had it on mute and not even realized. So that means I can take that. Well, what I can do is I actually want to duplicate it. I usually can duplicate it. And then I just want to get I think I have to go save video.
Who's that?
That's Christine. And I go into here. Now it's here.
Then why is the picture like that?
Because that's her picture.
Unpause it, Mom. I want to hear it.
Yeah, wait. How you possibly could add more value to your rental properties in a strategic way that instantly boosts your asset value, your equity, and your rental income, then you're in the right place, because we are going to dive into that in this next 60 minutes. So we are live on Zoom, we are live on Facebook, we are also live on YouTube. If you're watching us on Facebook, you can comment below that you want the link from Zoom so you can actually jump on our Zoom, because this masterclass, you need to see the slides. It's not enough just to hear what I'm saying. You need to see the... So I could just do it like that. How long is that? Save as a new clip. Can you? I'll quickly. Yeah.
On one stream, you can actually like pre-record a video and then turn it into live.
Oh, mad, because that's what I'd like to eventually do, so I don't have to actually be on there. But it just means, how do you ask them questions? Like, live's fine, but they can't ask you questions because you're not actually live.
You can, I think you can answer questions if like you're going to reply to them through comments. So it's still gonna take your time though. So the pre-live is advisable for like live that doesn't necessarily lets you answer questions immediately. Like, let's say for example, daily lives.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I like that I can save the videos now, because then I can post the lives to Insta. Otherwise, I couldn't post them. But I've also got to make sure then they're not forwarded to Facebook, because it's connected to both. So I have to work out to do that separately. All right, I'll just quickly play around with this clip real quick and post it and say, did you miss it? Comment replay. And if you want to just post the banner and maybe a picture of me again later to say you missed the replay.
Can I post the same photo or the same banner that we did last time?
Yeah. What you can do is post it together. So post that with the banner of the actual event so they don't miss what the event was.
Okay.
So yeah, you can do that, and I'll do this little clip, and then that's it. We'll I'm not doing tonight, so anything I think we're good. You can have the day. We don't really need to do anything. I just need to. I wanted to add 2 more slides. So before you send the slides out, remind me. I need to add the photo that I took when I was doing it. Oh, actually, no.
Should I do those tomorrow?
Yeah, I'll write it to you. I just want to put passive versus active, and the thing is, if it's the slides, is that no? Don't worry about it. Don't worry. So they're gonna watch the thing. There's no point adding slides if it's not in the presentation. It's all good. And I've got to have a look at that thing so we can post the next one.
Okay.
Did you have a look at what I said about, is there anything else that Jason says?
Yeah, I think we have the same, not exactly the same, but somehow the same, because as per looking on his descriptions, he uses like virtual words like virtual trainings, and we do have that.
Okay. All right. So as long as you've had a look and there's nothing extra that you need to say, like I just remember him saying like you're invited.
On our end, we are saying like for the landing page, I think we have a line there that you are invited to our webinar, like that.
Okay. 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 Well, I'll have another really quick look at it now, so then it's ready to go for you to post.
Actually, I just put the date on the 22nd. That's still Saturday, and put it 9:30. But I'm gonna ask you, should we do Saturday evening? Like try on Saturday evening?
I don't know about a Saturday evening.
Actually, or how about afternoon?
Let me ask Shabachi. What? That's what I'm already doing. 7:30 to 8:30 during the week, or 10 a.m. to 11 on a Saturday, or 6 to 7 p.m. on a Sunday. That's interesting. Most effective, it says Thursday at 7:30 or Saturday at 10 a.m.
Jason, I think Jason have it on a different time and day. But
yeah,
I think we have to stick on a schedule so that we will be able to like prepare for it.
Yeah, I reckon
well,
just
I think
leave at same time, 9:30, Saturday 22nd.
Okay.
Just leave it as that for now. Actually, let me have a real quick look at it now, so then I can just give you the all clear to go ahead, so that way you can get it up straight away. So we get 2 whole weeks to market it. And then I would, on Monday, call the ones that were registered for the event, like call and speak to them and just ask them like, oh, hey, just Did you jump on? What's your biggest take? Like, even though we know they didn't jump on, just pretend you don't know, and just be like, did you join us? What was your biggest take? So that way, if they go, oh no, I didn't get to make it. Well, that's okay. Would you like me to send you the replay? And then maybe say to them, you know what? Do you mind if I give you a call at the end of the week and check in on what you got out of it? Love to hear your biggest takeaways. And so that you're already let know you're going to call them again. Also keeps them accountable to watch it.
Do you want me to call them tomorrow?
No, don't call on a Sunday. Call on Monday.
Okay. Just business days and business hours.
Yeah. I wouldn't. I'd
Okay.
turn you off if you called me on a Sunday. Be like, fuck off. What are you calling me on a Sunday for? Plus, I want you to have time off. You know, I don't want you to just think you got to work every day. No, do it on a Monday. But yeah, then just use that as a. Where's the other one? Do you have the next one? Where's the link?
I sent you yesterday.
I know, but I'm on Omnisoft directly, but I can't see.
Second row, I think. We're on the second.
Oh, okay. Sorry, didn't notice that. And then, so the ones that registered, call them, request, are they okay if you call them like the end of the week to check in on what they learned? And then when you send the email, message them on Messenger and just say, hey, just sent it. Just want to make sure you got it. So it just makes them a bit more accountable and it gives you more connection with them.
Yeah.
Okay, I just want it spaced out more. So hold on, let me really quickly share my screen because then you can work on this and it's done. Okay, so here, top bit's fine. And then when you get to here, landlords, stop leaving money on the table, learn the 5 biggest mistakes that are costing you rental income and how to fix them. That should be on 3 separate lines. So where the money bag is, move that to the next line. Where join the free masterclass, next line. But I wouldn't say join. I would say we invite you to join our class on Saturday, the 22nd of March. So just fix that up. Are you unknowingly losing thousands on your rental property? Most landlords make critical mistakes that reduce their rental income, increase vacancies, and limit their property's value. It's a free masterclass. And then that next bit, just break that, like put most landlords next line again. In this exclusive free masterclass, I'd put after masterclass, put virtual training. You'll discover the top 5 mistakes that are costing landlords money, smart strategic renovation that attract high-paying tenants, how to increase rental income without spending. Yeah.
Hold on, I'll edit it right now so that you can see and you don't have to get back to it and check.
Okay, cool. And put the time happening this Saturday or happening next Saturday. All right, fix that. Let me just quickly go to the toilet. Boys, we're going to go in a minute. Can we just make sure there's not stuff everywhere?
Yes. Stop going on my side.
How about this one?
This is the clock.
Hold on, come back.
Yeah, yes, thanks.
Good job.
And this side.
Oh,
That's all.
okay.
Oh. Stop. He's going to his base. Let's go do walking.
Yep, after 9:30, just write Sydney time.
Okay.
Hold on a second. Keep doing that. Let me just quickly edit one.
Done.
Okay, just hold it for a sec because I'm just going to go straight into it.
Gee, that's the garden. Gee, maybe stay. Oh. I don't know who. This is time killer. What was the Pokemon attacking Titan for? The Pokeballs. Yeah, that's what it is. Red, pink. It's red. Red. Are you colorblind? No. It's actually red. It's mine, so it's red. See, that one over there, he didn't know that was time clock, but it was actually time to speak off. These are all the emeralds. Yeah, and but the emeralds are the emeralds. They're not coming out yet. But now what's coming out? Shoot! Who's that? It's time to call.
So capital letters in certain areas is really important. It brings importance.
Mm-hmm.
Gee, I'm gonna check
I don't need, keep the noise for a sec.
So do you know Titan Clockman can fly? Do you know Clockman is one of the longest Titans? Because he can fly. That's Titan. This is TV. What are you doing? What do you do to it? Cut it. Why? This. down already. Why? Because the striker, he doesn't know this guy and he's not friends. You don't know that he's not finding TV. Why is he keeping Caleb? It's not finding TV. It's not finding clock. It's a mystery typing. And it's of his mind. It's Titan Sword Titan Pokemon. This Titan Killer doesn't know. What? Nobody. No, this Titan Killer does, but this one doesn't. Wait, if it's both Titan Killers. Yeah. Titan Killers. Don't leave me. No. Chop his head off. No, my clock tied to it. Huh? He's down. How? It's his friend. Let's go. I hate you. He's down. Do you hurt me? The G-Man's not here. He's down. Because this time is strong. Please don't heal me. Hurt me. No.
All right, so the pop-ups are good. The pop-ups are all done.
Yep.
And the preview he's done, the emails, everything's done. There's nothing that. Have you checked everything?
Yes, I already checked the email. You mean the email that goes to the automation?
Yeah,
It's all good.
it goes to us as well.
Yes, it's all good, and I already changed the. I understand, and I noticed already what's the email that you meant there. There says if you can't make it to live, we'll send you a replay. Like not
Yeah.
encouraging them to. So it's actually on the reminder email, like the last chance to register. So I already changed that. I already removed that.
Okay, perfect. Okay. All right, I think that's it then. I'll keep my phone with me, so message me on WhatsApp if you need something.
Okay, thank you so much, Carissa. I think I'll be working on tomorrow. I will be working tomorrow for the posting replay. I mean, who wants the replay, and also checking if who commented on that. And
Yeah.
I think I'll also schedule ahead a blog and a question for Monday.
Yeah, and when are you going to launch the new training into like the Facebook event and all of that?
Are we good to launch it tomorrow? Because if we're all good, then I can launch it tomorrow.
Yeah, launch it as soon as you've got time. Launch it straight away.
Okay.
Okay, awesome. Okay, thanks, Christine.